Hi guys, this is Ryan and thank you for watching Motivation in Motion. Today's topic is about habit. Bad habit or good habit. So it's about habit. Right, I'm gonna share you a story about the Grand Cherokee. So there was this grandfather who shared his story about the Grand Cherokee to his grandchild. So the grandfather said, within our lives there is wolf, there's a bad wolf, and there is a good wolf fighting within us. So the grandfather keeps on repeating, all right, grandchild, there is a bad wolf and a good wolf fighting each other within us. And the grandchild was curious, like he was asking, all right, grandpa, so enough of the fighting, so who won the fight? Is it the bad wolf or the good wolf? And the grandfather says, well, son, it depends. Which wolf are you feeding? The bad wolf or the good wolf? All right. 90% of our behavior comes from our daily habit. It could be a bad habit and a good habit. All right. The bad habit in the story is the bad wolf, and the good habit in the story is a good wolf. It really depends on us. Which one we usually feed, the bad wolf or the good wolf. And somehow it really affects our behavior if we do that. All right. Sometimes, guys, bad habits are easy to do. However, it's hard to live in. And vice versa, good habits are hard to do, but easy to live in. Take for example, I used to smoke before, like a pack of cigarette. I started smoking when I was 17 years old. But it come to a point that I wanted to get rid of this bad habit. But it's just too hard for me to escape. So that's the hard part of it. It's really hard to live on. And then the results are sometimes you're feeling dizzy or more sickness are coming to our life because we already succumb to these habits that somehow we condone this behavior. You know what I mean? And vice versa, good habits are hard to do but easy to live in. So what do you mean by that? Good habits are hard to do but easy to live in. All right, I'm gonna take you back to let's get to warp zone. I'm gonna take you back to my high school life. All right, when I was in high school, I developed this bad habit of not learning. I don't really remember reading a book before. I don't really remember reading a book when I was in first year up to fourth year. Well, the good thing is I developed a good habit of relating to my friends. One of my close friends, so bonding with friends, playing with friends. That's the good habit, that the thing that I only do. So if we're gonna go back to the statement, good habit is good habit is hard to live in, hard to do, but easy to live in. Those are my classmates. Those are my classmates that are smart, because they created a good habit of studying our lessons like every day, or I don't know if every day. It's easy for them to get a high grade. So we envy those classmates. Like, I mean, damn, I don't even barely read a book from first year to fourth year, and there they are. It's easy for them to get a score of 10 over 10 during our quizzes or exam. So yeah, so I just realized this one when I started to read some books. You know what? When I try to read a book, when I try to develop a good habits, it's really hard to do. I mean, when I read a book, probably after 3 minutes, bam, I sleep. I don't like reading books, but somehow when I develop to do these habits, it makes my life easier. Like, I mean, you can share more thoughts. It's really easy for you to know like the cost and benefits of everything if you read those. Like for me, I love reading personal development books, so it's really easy to relate in our daily life. So somehow at first it's hard, but um, later it's easy. So the good thing is we can always train our bad habits. We can train our bad habits um, to get rid of the bad habits, but it's really hard to do. You really have to um, you really have to press. I mean, you really have to overcome the pain. Like if you wanted to get rid of the, if you really have to press past those painful experiences if you wanted to get rid of those bad habits. Like for example, it's not easy to get rid of your alcoholism, or if you're a drug addict, or it's really hard. But once you press past those painful moments, then everything will come easy. So yeah, so I'm not trying to my message here is not really wanting you to get rid of what you have right now. But if you wanted to develop bad habits into a good habit, somehow we have to acknowledge that doing this one, it's hard first, but later on it's too easy. Okay, so what does the Bible says about bad habits or good habits? Or let's focus on the good habits. Proverbs 22 verse 6, it says, train up your child train up your child the way you wanted him to do, and when he grows old, he will not depart from it. So train up your child in what way you should do, and when he grows up, he will never depart from it. So it's the same thing. If you train your child doing good habits, then somehow it's gonna be easier for him, or it's gonna be easier for her later on. It will not depart from him. And the same thing, if you're train your child negatively, then it's the same thing. It's a vice versa result. So I hope you learned something from what I discussed today, and thank you. See you soon.